How you doing? Doing all right? Yes, it is. The 5th of September, 2015. How is everybody doing? I wanted to go ahead and put this out real quick before I started my day because I think I needed to put some validation on some stuff. And wanted to commend each and every one of you that decided to do the work. That's right. You should be proud of where you are now. You know how I always convey in my videos? First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart because the fact that it takes 100% effort just to be you, that you connect here to hear what is conveyed from these lips, which I believe comes from him. I want to thank you because a lot of times we take time for granted. We don't take the time to say thank you when all may be needed is just that acknowledgement. And I want to take this time to let you know. I want to thank each and every one of you that have reached out, that have wanted validation, because I don't have a direct relationship with you. I do in spirit. Yes, I do. And I have a big amount of empathy for each and every one of you because I know that your life has gone through a lot. But what keeps me grounded, what keeps me humbled, is the fact that you know that your story is not written completely. This is nothing but a chapter. This is something that I've tried to convey to the intended heart and mind that we all make mistakes. See, when you were born to make mistakes. This is all about the human existence. But with that, there's a responsibility to be you. So, with that being said, the person that you were yesterday is not the person that you are now. And the person that you're going to become, oh, that beautiful person. There's going to come a time that you're going to look back at your life. Some of you are in the midst of finally being still and you are reflecting on your associations, those that were blissful and those that were not. You're starting to understand the power of free will and how divinely things come full circle now. You're starting to learn from the mistakes that you see in your environment on a supernatural level, unlike any other, because you see yourself in those connections or maybe choices that were made at one time. I commend you for that. No, you're not going to get a badge of courage for being the person that can endure the most pain or who can be the most brazen. No, because the greatest work that's ever done is done behind closed doors. See, that's the real you. That's the you that the world doesn't get to see. That's the you that allow your gifts and talents, that when you decide to be still and when you think you're ready, truly, you'll allow the world to embrace it because that's you. So I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that, to take that step. You might not realize how much courage is required for you to claim your life back. Sure, there are going to be those people that are going to see you in a certain light. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter what is conveyed because this is free will. For those people that you may have associations with, I say this. You pray for them. You pray that the same fortitude and energy that it took for you to look within inside that beautiful heart, to connect to your spirit, to understand and realign with that beautiful mind that has endless possibilities, that they find their way. That they find their way back to them. And if it's divinely meant, truly, the person that you felt through that connection spiritually, God will give you the blessing of actually seeing that come to pass. But let's be truthful. Most people won't do the work. Most people are in silence, terrified to look at who they are and choices made. It is easier to cut losses than to take one moment to be still and take a step back. See, sometimes I've come to learn in my walk. See, sometimes God will allow things to happen. He doesn't do it out of punishment. He does it out of preparation. So this goes back to what I was saying before. Everything that you have seen thus far has a divine reason for it. Right now, you might not understand why you may be going through something or coming from something, but there's a reason. Nothing is wasted when it comes to your life. But for you to truly understand that, you have to allow yourself to be still. I'm talking that inner peace that you long for, you dream about. Why do you think you're having those dreams? Why do you think you are dreaming about those connections? The endless conversations that you have in your mind. Some of you are saying right now, if I only could turn back the hands of time, if I could only have a moment just to say what I need to say. If it's divinely meant and you've done the work, trust when I tell you this, you'll get it. So prepare. Now, this is a message for my chain breakers. Glory be to God. Everything that you've gone through is in preparation of where you are now. It is very important that you do not get laxed. It is very important that you continue the process of breaking the rough edges in your life. See, now you have footing. Now the things that were causing you that fear, yeah, that. Now you can speak your truth. You never thought it would happen, but it has. See, that's the evolution of you. You're taking one more step closer into authenticity. That's why I keep trying to convey for you to look inside that heart, to allow that voice to be heard, to allow your actions to validate what is spoken. because no one will be able to do it but you. Why do you think you see what you see? But more importantly, why do you think your reality is the way it is? The truth of the matter is this: there are going to be people that you have aligned with that don't want to see you grow. And they're willing to do whatever they have to keep that from coming to pass, even if it means sacrificing themselves. So now you must be honest with yourself. How much is your happiness worth? How much is that peace of mind worth? How much is those dreams and aspirations worth? And then ask yourself this: do you love yourself enough to do it? See, a dream is only a dream unless you manifest it or validate it. It is just a thought that is unclaimed or made into reality. See, this is all the beautiful attributes of your mind. You know we only use 6%. So imagine if you fully used all 6%, where you would be. And let me make this clear. Some of you have seen this, and it's been very daunting and disappointing, because now you are seeing things and seeing people in a different light. See what is happening. You are awakening now. Your spirit is finally gaining its strength. And the person that you really are is starting to say, hey, not on my watch. I know what I need to do. So some of you have now decided to take the road less traveled. I highly suggest, if you guys have never heard that poem, to just take 5 minutes out of your time. It's by an author named Robert Frost. This poem, there are 3 poems that are very dear to my heart. That's one of them. The other one is the biblical poem, Footprints. I really believe that that is very fitting for each and every one of us that are striving to live the life that we dream about. Just know, wherever you've been, whatever you've gone through, it is not the end all be all. But more importantly, just know you're not alone. There's someone, maybe even a stranger, that is praying in your behalf. But most importantly, know this: you have to do the work. And the question should be, why won't you? Don't worry about those people that will not. You got to understand, there are going to be many people that are going to want to know your story, but there are only going to be a select few that will know your legacy, and that's okay. I, and this makes me think. It makes me segue to what Natalie Stewart, better known as the Floicist of the group Floetry, said in her song Breathe, which is a very significant song in my life. I heard that song for the first time when I embraced my walk. And she said, how's it go? You can't take everybody with you, but they should be better off that they knew you. So guess what? It's not what you're doing that matters right now. It's what you did that's going to stand the test of time. You define that. So, for those who are breaking those chains, those who are looking at their habits, those who are finally accepting and seeing what is needed to be done. I commend you. You know, God, and you know your angels are smiling, but don't get twisted. Don't get too comfortable, because guess what? You got angels and spirit guides around you. Why do you think that you can't communicate with that person? Why do you think that person's not in your life right now? Hmm? There's a reason for that. And the reality is, they didn't earn the right to walk with you. You shared a commonality in the beginning, and you decided to continue to grow. Doesn't mean they can't. Doesn't mean that. But that's not your responsibility. What you can do is love them from afar, pray in their behalf, and if it's divinely meant, guess what? You'll see him again. You will. I got this feeling somebody right now is spending so much time on that bed, just crying your eyes out. Good. Let out all that pain. Let it out. Because when you finish this blessed process of mourning, you will come to see that there will be a different thought process too. You will come to understand that some of the hardships that you have gone through had nothing to do with you at all. But we do things when we don't know the full spectrum. That's okay. You learn from that experience. I got a feeling somebody right now that at one time you suffered from boundary issues and you're tired. You're tired of fighting. And you only want what's right, what is needed. And you're starting to understand. But guess what? Don't let your pride or your ego sway your judgment. There's a reason why you're seeing this. And there's a reason why things played out the way they did. See, you got to understand something, y'all. If God didn't love you, He wouldn't have brought you through it, no matter what it is. I got a feeling somebody has issues with their family. It's very toxic. And you're starting to see things clearly. You're actually seeing why you think and act the way you do. And you kind of understand why the apple don't fall far from the tree. But guess what? You didn't realize the moment you took your first breath, God made you the matriarch of your family. So there is a responsibility for that preparation. Why do you think people keep gravitating towards you? Hmm? I got this feeling I hear somebody saying, yeah, you look at them like that's my mini me. I know I'm talking to somebody. It's very important that you do the work, because the actions that you lay ground to will be the path that they're going to walk on. So it's very imperative that you do what's best. So for my chain breakers, I'm not going to drag this out. Just know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and from the bottom of my heart, just know that your blessings are coming. You get one step closer to each step you get back to you. Do not worry about what is going on in your day-to-day right now. If it's not spawned with love, if it's not spawned with respect, if it's not spawned with aspiration, just know it's not blessed. It's an illusion. So it's very important that you stay true to you, no matter what. And you will come to see those people that have systematically, or by your choice, have had access to your life. You will be divided from. This process must take place. Because what is at stake is your peace of mind. You're not crazy. Mm-mm. Those setbacks, those disappointments are lessons that you had to learn. Those issues that felt like it robbed pieces of your heart, no. Those were lessons because those were things that you had may have done to someone else, and you had to see what it felt like. But guess what? You know that life, you got a part of your life that you don't even know yet, but it's coming. The more authentic you become, the more closer you become to the real you. So, I commend you. If you got any questions, any concerns, I'm right here. I'm right here. I love hearing from you guys. Worst thing you're gonna get out of me is a prayer or advice. Good advice. Now, before I go, I got this feeling someone is teetering with the idea of seeking counseling. Listen, if you already know what does not work, if you already have tried to seek advice from others and it did not work, maybe it's because they didn't want you to grow. But if you truly want peace of mind, why won't you invest in yourself? The worst thing that can come out of this is this: they can validate all that you know that you're correct, or they can show you a different option so that you can be the best you. So ask yourself this: aren't you worth it? Aren't you? You already know that every time you try to gravitate to other individuals, what has it gotten you? More pain. So why don't you go to someone that has no agenda? All they're going to do is give you a blind, a non-biased opinion. And don't you want that? Come on now. If you got a full-time job, you got medical insurance, and you're entitled to 2 visits. If you don't believe me, call your insurance agency up, and they will tell you the same. And you're worth it, right? I think you are. So, for those gearing up for this 3-day weekend, some of y'all started your holiday on Thursday. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive, because Officer Friendly is out there to remind you. And plus, you don't want them to take your money. Plus, he don't want to be out there either because he got to work when he'd rather be chilling at home too. So don't put yourself at risk. And oh yeah, this can wait. If it's meant for you to have, it'll be there. And if you gotta have that conversation, get you a Bluetooth. Get you a Bluetooth. At least you can keep your hands on the steering wheel, engage in that conversation. But just know, there are some people that are starting their weekend that unfortunately won't make it back. And for those who have kids, some of y'all have finally made it through summer and they're back in. I commend you. It's a new school year and new discoveries. And guess what? They love you. The people pray for you, love you, and we need you around. Just think about that. So if this video, by all means, y'all, I'm gonna throw this out too. If there's a video that I put out that you believe that someone can use, if there's somebody that you know that needs some guidance, some validation, by all means, I have no problem that you share them. I'd rather for you to share them to the intended heart and mind and it change their lives, or at least give them something to think about, than for you to watch them downward spiral too. Come on now. Why do you think God's got you where you are now? Hmm? It's because you're blessed. This is your season. You're going to come to see it. So, as I always say, God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. I really do. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. Now you're in the season where the rubber meets the road and real recognizes real. Have courage because you're going to see those people authentically. And that's okay. You may have to say goodbye to some folks. That's all right. Because what God has in store for you, they can't hold you back from you. Only you can do that. All right, guys. Have a great Labor Day. Is it Labor Day this time? Well, whatever the holiday is, I work, so you know. But be safe, okay? Love to hear from you. Bye.